Well, today more than ever, it is very challenging to really know and distinguish between reality and fiction, real and fake. And Canadian professor of law Timothy Caulfield has taken a deep dive into how we can try to escape from what's fake in his just released book, This Certainty Illusion, What You Don't Know and Why It Matters. Timothy Caulfield joins us now live here on CB24 Breakfast. Timothy, this book could not be more timely. You know, even as a journalist who goes through the news every single day, sometimes I'm wondering whether what I'm seeing is real or fake. So how important and how timely do you feel this book is at this moment?
You know, I got to tell you, it's more timely now than when I started writing it. Actually, with each passing month, as I'm writing this book, it's the message, the themes became more urgent. Yeah, it's an incredible time. Our information environment has never been as chaotic as it is right now. It's never been as confused as it is right now. And the paradox is, I think people do crave certainty. They do crave clarity. And I think because of that, all of those things that we use to find clarity, you know, science, informed opinions, they're being twisted too. So, you know, in the book, I argue that we're kind of in the middle of a knowledge crisis. I know it sounds grim. There actually is humor, and I try to make the book very relatable. But we're really in the middle of a knowledge crisis right now.
No, I think it's super legitimate. No doubt about that, Timothy. And then just this week, and I'm sure this is kind of what you were alluding to earlier, Mark Zuckerberg comes out and says Facebook's finished with fact checking. Now it's just community notes, kind of like a Wikipedia style. This is what someone thinks is right or wrong about a story here. What's your take on that? Because that really just plays into the narrative of your book.
It sure does. And it seems like every week we have a similar story. Am I right? Mm-hmm. Look, you know, I just thought it was a terrible decision by Zuckerberg. Look, fact checking, it's not perfect. We're still doing a lot of research on how to make it better, you know, how we can improve fact checking. There's some evidence that community notes can be a helpful tool. What I'm more worried about, Nick, is the political momentum that generated this decision by Zuckerberg and Meta. This idea that, you know, all knowledge is relative. There's no truth, and that I think is the real danger. And we're seeing it happen everywhere.
Yeah. And, you know, and it's all, you know, during the pandemic, it was, I've done my own research, you know, when it comes to vaccine efficacy, other things like that. Science-ploitation is a theme in your book here. I mean, science, in many cases, as evidenced by the pandemic, is life and death. But again, the information is confusing, as you highlight.
It is confusing. And I think because science is so valued, right, we turn to science, we turn to evidence to make decisions, you know, big policy decisions, but also personal decisions. Because it's so valuable, it's been commodified and twisted and exploited. So, you know, in the book, I talk about how sciencey language is used to deceive us. But also, Nick, there is bad science out there that is used to deceive us in order to give the veneer of real science. And that just makes the environment so confusing. You know, there is good news. You know, I do talk about, you know, how we can find a constructive path forward, both for individuals, but also for society more broadly.
So, Timothy, would you describe your book as kind of a how-to guide to sort through fact, fiction, real, fake? I mean, what's your pitch to people to sort of suggest, you know, here's why you want to read this, here's why it's necessary?
Yeah, you know, I hope the book is an engaging and fun journey through how we got here, why we got here. But as you pointed out, more importantly, what we can do as individuals, not just to make it better for ourselves, this information environment, but to make it better for everyone.
How much are you afraid of AI? I mean, AI seems like it'd be, you know, a lot of good for productivity, et cetera. But when it comes to news, reality, facts, what kind of level of concern are you? Like, what, a 10 or a 1? Where are you?
We're at 11. We're at 11. It is, you know, in the book, it's hard to write out AI in a book that you want to have, you know, it's going to be evergreen, right? Because as I'm writing it, you know, over the week, the AI is getting more sophisticated. So look, there's no doubt AI is going to facilitate the spread of misinformation. And there's lots of research that shows that. And by the way, you can't tell when it's AI. People think they can, but they can't. But there is some good news. AI can also be used to identify misinformation. You can make AI-driven chatbots that can pull people out of rabbit holes. So there's good and bad with AI, and we have to recognize it's not going away. But I fear in this current political environment, the former, right, the misuse of AI is going to dominate.
Yeah, and from text to images, it is everywhere, and those are getting better as well. Listen, Timothy Caulfield, great to talk to you. The book's called The Certainty Illusion. Love the title. What you don't know and why it matters. Really appreciate this time of the conversation, Timothy. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Okay.